Hello everyone, Stinger Slash back with another Bluray Steelbook update. Yes, it's been a little while since my last one. Basically been putting it off for a bit. My usual updates are every week or so, at least in the past when I used to collect pretty much everything. And that's obviously dropped off a lot now. I'm only picking up the Steelbooks that I really want. And so yeah, I've got 11 to show, which are from the last month or so. Some I've just got this in this last week, and some I've had a while. All of these, I think, except one, were bought from, actually no, all except two were bought from Zavvi. And I have a lot of issues with Zavvi, which we'll get into in this video. So first up are four imports, US imports, that Zavvi now sell. They have a section in their Steelbook section called imports. And basically these are region free for the most part. All the ones I've bought are region free, US editions. And the problem with these Steelbooks are, I do think they're made a little cheaper. They're very easy to damage, and that's why I stopped importing in the first place. And obviously Zavvi get them and then send them on, so you've got that extra worry of the extra damage that could happen. And that's what happened with the few that I bought. I actually bought Face Off to replace mine that had damage from when I bought it from America, and it was in worse condition than the one I already had, so it went back for a refund. And I also bought Pitch Black, but that was also damaged, and in the end I decided just to keep my UK one, even though it's got the horizontal artwork, and send it back. But these other four that I've got, these are going to replace my my UK ones, which have horizontal artwork, because I don't really like them, and I prefer these ones, even though they don't have any inside artwork. At least they've got the artwork the right way around. So first up is Hellboy 2. Now these were £15 each. This one luckily arrived fine, but this was a Steelbook that turned up with in the new packaging that they have. And the new packaging for Zavvi is a cardboard mailer that you would usually get a regular Blu-ray in, so it's not good. As you can see, there's no inside artwork on any of these. We've got Blu-ray and then a Region 1 DVD, which will never get used, and also some ultraviolet codes, which I probably can't use because they're American. So I may as well give these away if anyone wants these. Yeah, Hellboy 2. The code is NXEWLAN9THMP, and that should still be valid. So that's the first one. And these have printed backs as well, but the reason I like these is because they have the sort of comic book style artwork. Now this one is the Incredible Hulk, and I actually have this one damaged. I'd already sold my my UK one, that sold pretty quickly once I decided to sell it, but they did refund me like £3, so this one was only £12. It's not a huge amount of damage, but it's still there. So here we have the disc, the Region 1 disc, DVD. I still have the UK lenticular slipcase HMV exclusive, so at least I've got that. Plus I've got the DVD Steelbook, so plenty of Incredible Hulks. So here's the Incredible Hulk code, and who wants this one? MEN9NLP6P4WF. So yeah, this one was only £12. The damage isn't massive, but it's really just a couple of small paint issues really on the corners. You can see that corner there. Is that in focus? It's a bit grey. It shouldn't be grey, it should be white. I do have a few slipcase editions from this set. One of which is Van Helsing, which I decided to keep. The other one is the Chronicles of Riddick, which I've upgraded to the Steelbook here. I think I also got Mongol as well, but I didn't bother with any Mongol Steelbook. And the Eagle as well. I don't think the Eagle was out on this Steelbook series. And Doom. So I've actually got quite a few of those slipcases, I've just realised. But yeah, there's Riddick, Blu-ray, and the DVD, which at least has got some colour to it. But the Blu-ray doesn't, go figure. So here's the Chronicles of Riddick digital copy code is J4PJFYPNTPER. So that's that one. And the final import, so I'm not even sure why I bought this now, King Kong. I think it's because I realised I didn't have it on Amaray, and then I forgot I had it on Digibook, so don't really need this one. But this has got extended and theatrical versions on it. the back there. If I haven't been shown the backs of some of these, it's because, well, they're pretty basic. So here is King Kong, the disc and the DVD, and here's King Kong. Now this one's a little different to the rest, because this one actually comes with a digital HD code, so you actually get a HD version rather than an SD version, so that's pretty cool. So there you are, the code is 7WKNN9R67PE4. So there you go, hopefully some people can use those. You know, as I say, all I ask is that you just say thanks and maybe just say which one you used. Because someone did that last time I gave away a code, that was great. It also helps other people to not try the codes. And also, don't use all 4 codes. Let other people have a code. You know, pick which one you want and then let other people have the other codes. So, yeah, everyone be good. Right, so let's move on to the UK Steelbooks. First up is one that I got at the start of last month, and that is Robocop. This is a Studio Canal release, not an exclusive to anywhere, and actually this was the last ever purchase I got from Flubbit. I bought this way back in February on pre-order for 14 quid, and I paid back in February and finally got it in June, because I don't use Flubbit anymore. But yeah, Robocop, nice artwork here. It's a matte finish, which is good. We'll be getting on to the Glossies later and I'll have a good old rant about that. But yeah, it came from Amazon, so it's in good packaging. And there's the disc there, and the inside artwork, which I've just realised, because I didn't really look at the inside artwork before, is this way on, which you don't usually get outside of horizontal artwork releases. So that's a little different, I suppose. But yeah, decent steelbook, but probably not worth much more than the 14 quid, so don't pay 20 quid or anything for it. Next up is, I think, my newest release that I just got the other day, yesterday I think. It's Godzilla. Yes, I know it's Godzilla, but I wanted to see, you know, because I've never watched the film, I've just heard how bad it is. I want to see if it really is that bad, or if it's just, it was so overhyped that, you know, it's never going to live up to the hype. The back artwork isn't great, but I really like the front artwork. It's got that sort of like leatherish sort of skin, you know, like it looks a lot better than the matte finish that it should be. The eye's pretty cool, although it could be better, I suppose. But yeah, at least they don't have the name of the film at the front, which is quite nice. So yeah, Godzilla, and this is a 4K Blu-ray. One of the first 4K Blu-rays to get a steelbook. It looks like the regular Blu-ray, and apparently the print on the front of it is exactly the same as the 2D regular non-4K Blu-ray. But you'll know the difference because when you put it in your machine, it won't have any special features. 4K doesn't have any extras. So yeah, that was only a tenner. I waited until it was a tenner to get that one. So we'll be right along now with the rest of the steelbooks. Another 5 to show. So next up, we have SpiderMan. Except it's not SpiderMan, is it? It's the SpiderMan trilogy. And some of you may remember a long time ago, I had this steelbook. This was the German steelbook that came out a while ago, and I had it for ages. And then I decided, when Xavi was starting to release loads of stuff, I'll sell it off, get some money for it, and then wait for the inevitable Xavi exclusive. Well, of course, it didn't come, but we did get this UK version of the Spider-Man trilogy, and sure enough, it's the exact same bloody version. It has the same Spider-Man front cover, just says Spider-Man, which is, there's no excuse. I can't say Spider-Man trilogy, or even just Spider-Man 1 to 3. So it looks like it's a Spider-Man steelbook, and it isn't. So it really infuriates me. But I only paid a tenner for it. I waited for the price drop. There's the 3 discs. 1, 2, and 3. No bonus disc for 3, but not really missing much there. And the inside outlook is not a lot to show there. But yeah, it's another matte finish release. So now we're going to get into the Glossies. Now, Xavi been releasing a lot of glossy steelbooks recently because there was a lot of matte finish releases last year. They looked pretty dull, and so glossy was wanted back. Now it's not Xavi's fault. None of this is Xavi's fault, what I'm about to go on about, but Xavi do sell a lot of them, so they're going to get a lot of returns, I think, or a lot of people asking for partial refunds, myself included, because with there being so many more steelbooks now than there used to be. Scanivore, obviously the company that make these steelbooks in Denmark, I think they're starting to cheapen on how they make the steelbooks. I think they're not using the same finishes that they used to. Maybe they're using cheaper gloss, I don't know, and maybe a cheaper finishing effect. But there's this big issue, and you may have heard about it, you may not have seen much of it, but it's called stretching. Now stretching is, and I'll show an example on the first 4 that I'm going to show here today, and they all have stretching. This is the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Zavvi exclusive, which I just got yesterday. Lovely glossy release, and it's got the nice embossed masks there on the front. Really cool stuff. Border there, awesome back as well. Really glossy, really nice stuff. I mean, the gloss is fantastic, but a price comes with it. Now here's the disc inside. I prefer it if I had the actual Turtles logo, but there you go. But yeah, stretching is when the gloss effect is put on the steelbook, and the corners of the steelbook end up either without a glossy finish or with the rough edges. Now, here I'm going to show. This is on Turtles. This is the corner. Now, it's not even that noticeable, but you might see there's a sort of a grey part to the corner. It's just, it's just here. It's quite rough, but this one actually isn't as bad as the others. The bottom is a bit worse. You can see that there, pretty much clear. That shouldn't be there. That should be black, and that should be glossy. Instead, it's sort of rough. Now, this one isn't as bad as the others I'm going to show, but it's a shame that this has happened. And basically, what I'm doing is I'm contacting Zavvi, because I can live with them, but I shouldn't have to put up with them, and no one should. So contact Zavvi, tell them that you're not happy about the damage, and they'll give you a refund of anywhere from 10 to 20%. So, you know, if you can get 10 to 20% back on all these steelbooks, you're looking at £3-4 a time. And why not? Because it will send a message to Zavvi to send a message to Scanivore to stop doing this shit. So the next one is I Saw the Devil. I got this on the same day as the Turtles. This is another glossy finish, which you don't see that many of from Studio Canal. This one I actually was going to cancel, and then I ended up not cancelling it. It got sent out before I got a chance to cancel, because I think it will go down in price. But yeah, it's a decent steelbook again. You know, nothing not really overly special, but quite a nice finish to it. But on the corners, you can see there. Again, it's sort of more of a white. That's pretty bad. You can see that pretty clearly. It's pretty rough. Bottom as well. I mean, you just shouldn't put up with it. So I won't be putting up with it. But now we come to the worst offenders, the Disneys. Up first, Alice in Wonderland. Lovely. Now these two are the best steelbooks I'm going to show today. Lovely glossy finish. Border. You've got embossing here on the door. You've got embossing on Alice, on parts of Alice, the Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, and the title, of course, and the name of the film as well. Lots of lovely embossing. The back artwork is nice as well, nice and clear. None of these have any dings or dents or scratches or anything, which is brilliant, or spine slashes, but and all of these came in this awful new packaging that they have. So I got very lucky on that front. It's artwork too, and these two both come with the Disney Movie Rewards as well. But again, the stretching is pretty noticeable, and it just shouldn't be there. It's specifically on the corners where you open the steelbook. They're the worst affected usually. So check your glossy releases and just see if there's any damage on there, because if they are, you know, you can get some money back if you're inclined to do so. So the last one today is Robin Hood. Again, a nice embossed sort of border there around the title itself, and the border. There's no border on this one, which is not usual for Disney's. But this one doesn't have a border, but does have some more nice embossing here, all over the place. There's just little bits of embossing. It's something nice and different. The back artwork is a little rough around the edges. It looks It's not of high quality, I will say that. Here's inside artwork and the disc. But this has absolutely shocking stretching on the corners here. It may not even come up that much, but when you actually rub this, it's so rough. Like, if you had really sensitive skin, you could probably cut yourself on that. It's very, very rough. It's the roughest corners I've ever seen on a steelbook. That's particularly rough there. You can actually hear that, can't you? It's terrible. Even these corners are pretty bad. And they're not usually... I mean, just to sort of show this one, you know, to sort of in a comparison there, it's not as bad. But anyway, yeah, the rough edges, the stretching issues, you know, are really bad, and the fact that the stretching issue really came about with the Anchorman 2 Steelbook, which I still haven't bought yet. I'm going to wait for a price drop on it. But Entertainment Store actually said, listen, this has got stretching issues, which turned out not to be that bad at all on that one. Nowhere near as bad as these. But they offered people to cancel their orders and, you know, or send it back for you know, for a refund without no charge. But yeah, it's a big issue that Scanavoid just seem to think is apparently part of the glossing process. It wasn't part of the process before, because I've got plenty of glossy steelbooks, and very few have any stretching on them from the past. So, you know, go through your collection, look at the glossy steelbooks, just feel the corners, and just see how many of them have this issue that you might not even have noticed. But we shouldn't put up with it, and hopefully things will change, but we shall see. That'll do it for this video, because I'm about to run out of time. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again for another update very soon. Until then, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye for now.